Captain's Log, Episode 89. This week's episode of the Beer Vengers podcast is sponsored by the Beer and Cheese Collective, located at 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens. Enjoy their eclectic array of craft beer, artisanal cheeses, and specialty grocery items at the Beer and Cheese Collective, home bar to yours truly, Captain Porter Brown Stout. On this five-pour show, the Beer Vengers talk about, among other things, fall-themed beers, the proliferation of pumpkin, and Halloween season, often referred to by a perhaps redundant alliterative title. Do we really need a dumbed-down synonym for this season that already has a perfectly good name? We don't actually discuss this, but we do ruminate at length on this time of year and how we've spent it. Remember to like, star, and subscribe whenever that feels appropriate, and send us your emails at thebeervengers@gmail.com if you have any questions, suggestions, or if you just like hearing us talk about you on the show. And now, without further ado, please enjoy episode 89, Sayonara Spooky Season.
With a beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers. With a beer Vengers, with a beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers. We're the Beer Vengers.
Welcome to the Beercast, everyone. Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Astoria, Queens, I am Captain Porter Brown Stout.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in the city of Fresno, California, this is the Pale Male Hophead Huck.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in the county of Kings, it is I, the Beer Wonder.
And we are
Beer Vengers.
Ooh, a little variety to that one.
Yeah.
Spicy and saucy.
Long-time
variety
listeners
is
will notice.
That is very true.
Yeah, I think
Oh
the
my
long-time
gosh.
listeners, that's one of the things they tune in for. I hope
Exactly,
they stick
yeah.
around for more of it. But
The varieties that can really come from us announcing our right as Beer Vengers.
yes, it's all part of the fun, part of the game, part of all of it. Welcome everyone. We've been gone for a little bit. We actually haven't even seen each other for a little while.
I
It's
know.
really good to be back here talking to you.
Yeah.
From my usual haunt back here in Queens County,
Mhm.
and seeing you guys too. It's great. How you been?
Fantastic.
I mean, we did all of spooky season, y'all. Like, it's been a minute, and we did all of spooky season. Yeah. I mean, we got through all of that, and that is an exhausting time in my life. And so I'm glad to be on the other side of that. I am glad to see the pumpkin beers have calmed down, because we all know my feelings on that.
Oh gosh.
I know, and now we're into that fall time. We're into that like fall winter time when Gotham really kind of is a lovely place to be. So, and it's a good time to drink beers that are more of the Captain variety and less of the Wonder variety.
True.
Although-
Now, you say we all know how you feel about pumpkin, but I feel like it's a little more complicated than just something. Is it you actively dislike them? I don't remember.
I mean, I'm just exhausted by them. I feel like they are trying
Too many,
exceptionally.
what you're saying,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. They were trying very hard, and everyone wants to do it, and there's no variety. And here's the thing: anyone could say the exact same thing about IPAs, and I
Fair.
would accept that criticism.
True.
But
there
at
are
least
there are a few standouts, I think, when it comes to the pumpkins.
it's true. But I feel like we've hit a point where everyone is trying to make the pumpkin spice latte of beer, and really Starbucks has perfected that. So let's just move on.
Now I want to switch out my beer. I have a pumpkin one in the fridge.
And I'm not mad about it. I'm just going to need you to convince me as to why it is the best of our pumpkins of the year.
I'll stick with my plan A. I got a couple of.
You should not. The wonder should not influence you.
Now, as much as Beer Wonder is trying to sort of bury all the fall beers, it is November 3rd, so that's
True.
why he's going with that. But who knows? They might have a few last little. You don't just throw it out. You don't want to just save it all for a year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You
we're
would never
talking
do
about-
that.
I have not had a pumpkin beer this fall.
What? Okay, well, so now here's the thing. There is a time and a place for pumpkin beers. I just don't want 12 of them.
All right.
I've been living in fest beers rather than pumpkins this year. It's been a good,
which is
been a good
another
year for
season
fest
that
beers.
we're through. I think this is a discussion we should really absolutely have. But before we
We
dive
should
any
have it.
deeper into it,
Wait till the podcast starts, then we'll have it.
yeah, the podcast started, Huck. We're like
right.
4 minutes in. Yeah.
See, it doesn't start for me until we have a beer.
Oh, I see. Well, then,
he does bring up a good point. I will give him that.
So we were saying the same thing. I was just too obtuse to recognize it. Yeah,
I was being obnoxious.
Yeah, it's time for the pours. Who should go first?
Well,
as I just did that faux pas. So.
Well, he does bring up a good point. Now, Captain, here's the thing: we are getting into your season, right? Not. I know that you would argue that stout season is every season, but
yes, it would.
It does feel like hashtag trademark Captain, but I do feel like because this is your time, it is your moment. It would only be polite if you went first.
Well, thank you, Beer Wonder. Thank you, Hophead Huck. Yeah, I have a
sponsored pour.
No way.
Yep, I have a sponsored pour here today, and I am both going into the new season, but also going back a few days into the old season.
Oh,
because
okay.
I have a beer here by Omegang.
Oh,
it is called All Hallows Treat.
Oh my goodness! And that is a delightful can right there. Check that.
I was really glad the provider gave me this one. It's like a whole little it's like a comic book. It has someone saying "Here for the booze."
Yep.
BOOS. Lots of booze. But here's where it fits in with what you're saying, the official stout season as well as the just past season. This is an Imperial Chocolate Peanut Butter Stout.
Oh my. So it's like the Reese's Pieces of beer?
Or more Reese's Peanut Butter Cup than the piece, I think.
Got it.
It's a 7.6%. So let's just see what we got here.
Oh my. Ooh, that one's ready.
It is frothing a bit, yeah.
It seems off-brand for Omegang, but all right.
I mean, I agree, but I'm not complaining either.
No, I mean, I honestly, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups in a beer, I'm okay with that. I could make that a thing, and it's pouring beautifully. It really that was a beautiful smooth pour, and the head has got these tiny little bubbles on it, and it's really sticking around.
Yeah,
I mean, I bet the peanut butter, the protein is helping with that, right?
That's right.
Absolutely, yes. It's a good way to get your protein. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look as white here, but I see what you're saying on the camera.
Compared to other stout heads, yeah.
All right, so do we need to have Huck pay full penance for the thing, or does he get to go next, or what do you think, Beer Wonder?
Let's punish him a little bit. He also lives in he's living in the past, right? It's 5:00 where he is.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Beer Wonder.
But I'm going to be really honest with you, Captain. I'm really embarrassed. We keep doing this. We need to coordinate this better because tonight I'm having a
sponsored pour.
Wow, you're having a sponsored pour as well. That's
I
great.
know. I know.
We got to give that love to the Beer and Cheese Collective at 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard because they provide for us so well.
They do, but I just feel it's embarrassing. Like I should be doing
better. Provider is curating our show. Here.
Literally. So this one I'm actually excited about because it combines two of my favorite things: Barrier Brewing Company, well, three, I guess. Barrier Brewing Company, Interborough Spirits and Ales, which is a favorite of mine for sure, and IPAs.
You got my attention.
I know. So this is the Barrier Brewing Company Money Mad Fat Interborough, double IPA. And it's also cool, fun, money. Like it's got gold on it. 7.3%. Says keep cold and drink fresh, and we love that. So I'm excited to see what happens when these two giants come together because I definitely love Barrier and I definitely love Interborough, and I love Interborough IPAs. I will forever think back to the night when the captain and I had a misadventure over pulled pork and whiskey shots.
Oh, are you talking about the one that started the arrogant swine and just eventually wound up with us meeting Huck at Grimm?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Huck might have met us at Interborough while we were doing a flight of IPAs, and we were already toasted. I think by that point,
for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, Interborough holds a really special place in my heart for so many reasons. I love their IPAs. I love the stuff that they do. One of the best IPAs I've ever had is there. And plus we've had some special nights there. So I'm excited to see what they do when they team up with our buddies at Barrier, who we also know do such good stuff. So let's see what's up.
Yeah, we're linking the two. There's their two flagship beers, the Money and the Mad
I
Fat.
know.
Yeah, and to add the even more credence to the plug, not only can you get these cans at Beer and Cheese Collective, I think the last time I was there, they had it on tap as well.
Oh, good ones. Well,
Oh,
I mean,
that is
nice
a
and fresh.
ferocious head.
I know this beer is not messing around, and it's literally like I can smell it from the can. The minute I cracked it, I was like, "Oh, there are some hops in here." So if I'm not mistaken, they've combined like 6 different hops in this one. It's a little, I think it's more like 5. It's a little insane. It's double dry hopped. I'm very
That's
excited
mad
to see
fat,
it.
you.
A mad fat. It's money. Is money.
Yes.
Anyway,
I like it. I like it.
all right,
And-
you've done your time, Huck.
So I'm glad we got 3 different styles today, which I
Ooh,
like
fun.
that. And I'm trying to continue, even though I thought maybe I would stop, but I'm continuing my quest to bring new breweries to this show. And I believe we have not had this brewery on before. This is a place called Monkish Brewing.
Oh, at a famous brewery too.
Yeah,
I'm
famous.
surprised
And
we haven't gotten them.
they had this one's called Feminist, and it was you had one before.
I have not. I think that did we just call him Beer Guy Phil? Is that what we
Phil
eventually
had
called
a
him?
monkish?
Oh, right,
on.
he did have a monkish. That's
But
right.
I'm
All right,
fairly
take
certain
it
it wasn't
away.
this one. Yeah.
Take it away. Well,
No,
you know
we
what?
won't.
No, monkish.
I'll-
But monkish is an exceptional brewery. So
Yeah,
they
we
need
only
to be
get them out
featured.
here when they're collaborations.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a second beer today that may speak on this. But anyway, Monkish is known, and when Brew Guy Phil had it on, he had his hazy IPA. Now, Monkish originally just wanted to, like Ommegang, wanted to be a Belgian style brewery. So what did I get? Naturally, in the name of one of our fellow beer Avengers, it's a triple.
Oh,
Always
Always
yeah,
a triple.
Yeah.
It's called Feminist, and it's made with hibiscus. So look for some color here, some serious color.
Oh yeah. That's pretty.
Let's get this head going because I know it's not the most foamy of heads.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that. Oh, it's
Nice.
almost. I mean, and again, the camera plays tricks on it, but it's almost like purpley.
Yes.
Very nice.
Give it a purpley vibe.
Mhm.
Maybe it's called feminist because of the pink color. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know where they get the name, but yeah, if you hold it up to the light, yeah, it is dark. It's a dark pink. All right, well there you go. Beers report.
All right.
Beers
well, we're
reported.
all have glasses. Cheers, Beer Avengers.
Prost.
Prost.
Indeed.
Mm.
That's nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tasty.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So we have mango in here, like the best kind of papaya. I've got beautiful lacing on the glass too, which is amazing. There's something that's kind of resiny and oily. There is so much happening going on here. It's that kind of like medium thick pilly mouthfeel that you love. This is a delightful double IPA. And I'm afraid it like I can't taste any of the alcohol, and it's 7.3, so this could be my downfall. But like, gosh, you take 2 like primo beers from 2 primo breweries and you let them kind of bring their flagships together. This is kind of magic. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go over to Beer and Cheese Collective and see if this is still on tap in the next couple of days, because I'm gonna want another one of these for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember Money was to me was number one as far as like that East Coast. You know, if we discounted the West Coast ones when they started making IPAs here, I thought that was the top one in the New York area. Anyway, before the haze craze, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But Money was my favorite.
It's got that resiny character that I remember from that, but it does have some of the like depth and richness and so what I loved about initially when I got to know Interborough is that they do vacuum distilling on site, or they historically did. They had a vacuum distiller, and so they would distill hop oils at room temperature, because once you suck all the air out, you can boil things at room temperature, so you don't lose a lot of that. So they would have these amazingly resiny like IPAs that just had so much incredible intense flavor to them, because they would just add in purified hop oil and put huge amounts of it in. And so this is very reminiscent of that for me, with a good amount of sweetness in there, very dank. I mean, it's hitting all the right notes. It's hitting everything that I would want from this beer in a lovely way. I would say if you are an IPA fan like I am, maybe run, don't walk.
To a story of beer and cheese.
True story of beer and cheese.
Yeah,
That's not the name of
Or
it.
excuse me, the beer and cheese collective. More importantly,
Now I had this monkish because I bought a 4-pack and I had one with Uncle Ed, and we just split it. So at the time I was thinking it was kind of had a more of a fruit juice or Kool-Aid vibe, but now I'm having it today. That's only what you get up front because as it finishes, as it goes through, you definitely get more of that Belgian triple feel. And at the finish, it it takes a second and then it goes, it's a triple. Remember, it gives you that little hint once it's swallowed, like, oh yeah,
yep.
this has got some booze in it.
Oh,
But
we
it's
like that.
nice.
It's always fun. I always enjoy that when it kind of sneaks
And
up
like,
on you a little bit.
not doesn't really start retaining a lot of head, but
Mhm.
I think that's okay for a triple. It has a little sour, a little sour taste to it. Just on like the back of my tongue, let's get that little tang. But overall, this is a pretty nice beer.
Yeah, this one, it's interesting that they call it an Imperial Chocolate Peanut Butter Stout, but it does, it's a 7.6%, and which is usually more what you'd call a foreign export stout. But I'm also noticing, in addition to that, the ABV there, it is a little lighter bodied than I might have expected.
Huh.
I mean, it's
Interesting.
not quite down on the level of a Schwarzbier, but it is.
Yeah.
It's a little more quaffable than I might have expected.
Huh.
Definitely has that chocolate there, and Huck won't be surprised to know that I'm pleased that the peanut butter is subtle,
Okay.
because we've talked about my whole thing with peanut butter. I
Yeah,
don't
it's not your
eschew
favorite.
peanut butter, but I'm always willing to give it a chance. And this one is it's not as sweet as I thought it might be, which is for me a positive.
Now,
Gotcha.
this is continuing Halloween vibes, right? And I know we just got out of
It is.
spooky season.
I should talk a little bit more about this can art here. They had the "Here for the Booze" is the one, and then someone is down here. Someone is saying "so screamy,"
Okay.
but my favorite one is you know, going back to the whole zombie movie thing. They're saying "grains, grains."
I love that. That's pretty
good.
wonderful. Now, if someone put this in your trick or treat basket, we would
Mm.
accept it. Yes.
I would for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
I don't know
Could
if
probably you could possibly get arrested by doing something like that.
you
Well,
mean
you know.
for. Oh yeah, I mean, you meant. I think he meant now, right? If I were trick or treating now, I would
Well,
get
I
arrested for
assume.
trick or treating at the age of 55, or they'd get
Well,
arrested for putting that.
As you do.
I
Yeah.
mean, isn't the answer yes? Maybe to both of those things.
Always yes.
Okay, I think you're right.
I mean,
Well, no,
Yeah.
you can't really give out. Well, I don't know. Can you? Do you think you can give out beer? Like, honestly, that would be an interesting thing, right? Because you do the trick or treat, you do grown up trick or treating, right? So you do the kids that get candy, but then the parents get handed like, I don't know, airplane bottles or beers or something like that. I feel like I could get into that.
Well, here's the thing that I was just listening to. We mentioned Brendan McDonald from WTF in the last episode.
Yes.
There's a show in the extra content every Friday. It's basically just him and another guy, and they're talking about stuff. And he was talking about there's someone in his neighborhood who like has the trick or treats for the kids, but has like wine for the parents.
That's
I
the way to.
have heard of that before. Yeah.
And he said that in his neighborhood, that is the most. I don't know what part of New York he lives in, but he says that's definitely the most popular place in his neighborhood. The other guy, he said, I couldn't quite do that because I worried people. Our house is already sort of up a hill and seems
Sure.
like the weird house. I'm like, okay, no, we didn't quite. He would have liked to have done it, but couldn't quite bring himself to. But I like that idea of like, okay, this is trick or treats for the kids. Here's some treats for the parents. And this
Well,
would be
then,
a wonderful choice for it if someone were doing that.
so then that brings me to the question: what did we all do for Halloween?
Hmm. Well,
The actual day or in service of the season?
Generally, I would say yes and yes in this case. What was your Halloween activity this year? I mean, I assume none of us went to the parade, of course, that happens in Greenwich Village here in Gotham,
No,
because that is just exhausting.
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
I
I'm
did
absolutely
did
certain
it
Huck
once,
didn't.
but-
Well, yes, Huck definitely did not. But I'm curious, what does the Frez do for Halloween?
Well, there was Halloween stuff happening. I was invited to a party. We did chill on the actual night
Mhm.
because we were doing things on Wednesday. But Saturday night, I was in a improv murder mystery show.
Oh,
as,
well,
There you go.
as one does.
it's rather Halloween
That's
appropriate.
festive.
It was called Stab, Stab, Stab.
There you
So
go.
It was about a murder. So it was a great crowd. People enjoyed it quite a bit, and I had a costume. I was disgraced police detective Sam Clubb for
Yes.
Halloween.
Of course you were.
That tracks for you, Huck.
It's good reason to wear one of my hats, and it
Sam
was
Clubb
fine.
works better than Sam Jack, I think. Or no, the Jack is the wrong thing.
Sam
right?
Hart.
Sam Hart.
Oh God.
And I got murdered. I got.
Sam Diamond.
Oh,
Is
Diamond
that all
would
of
have
them?
been-
Have we got all of them? Yeah.
Diamond would have been better. Why did I think of that? Sam Clubb is pretty silly. And then there's
It
Sam's
is, it's
Club,
funny.
so it's a
Yeah.
little play on that. Anyway, that was a good time. That was kind of my. And then we went. It was Halloween night in the Tower. Went to Goldstein's a bit and went to a
Nice.
couple other places. Yeah, it was nice.
How about
Maybe
you?
a Halloween guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me neither. I kind of feel like just because I dress up for a living,
Yeah.
it always just feels like amateur night. Because that's what I did on the actual day I was working in my costume that I wear every day at work, and all the employees had some pretty cool costumes there. It was a really great Ursula the Sea Witch.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
did the whole blue face thing because I guess that's not considering disrespecting a woman of color in that sense.
Mm.
Because it doesn't quite, since there are no actual blue people that I know.
There's
of.
no one to offend, right?
Not yet.
Yeah,
That we know of. Until the aliens show up, and if you're listening,
but that was pretty. Yeah,
We need you.
and well, yeah, I know you're convinced that they are, even if they seem to be hiding themselves better than they used to.
I'm not going to give up on my convictions, y'all. Okay, I'm going to keep putting it out for them until they arrive. Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted.
Your consistency is appreciated.
Yes, but no blue people yet that we know.
Yeah,
of.
no. So it's okay for someone to put blue makeup on their face. But yeah, so it was nice. I don't even remember what I did that evening. But I did go to a Halloween party last Saturday, hosted by the Night Runner and well, I guess we'll still just call her Megan because I don't think she doesn't have a beer venture name yet. But yeah, went there, and I was the only one there who did not appear to be in a costume.
But you did have one on, technically.
Well, I kind of did. It's pretty
do.
dark though. It's pretty dark.
Oh boy!
All right, I've introduced. I have to say what I said.
Now you put the gun on the table.
Even the first time I said it, I thought like maybe I shouldn't keep this up for the evening. But then I said it to someone else, and they laughed. So I said I was dressed as the guy who couldn't be bothered to have a costume because his dad just died.
And there you go.
Yes, I said it was dark.
Yeah, and that is a costume that we all wear at times.
Yes,
so,
yes, and one of I think we call her the nurse or the doctor or something said, and you're wearing it well.
There you go.
Nice.
See. So what you're saying is you took this concept and you made it high fashion. Well done.
Yeah.
Those are exactly the kind of costumes I used to always wear. Like,
yeah,
I one night, actually the night I went to the Halloween parade, I had sort of a beardish growth, and I just shaved except the mustache and then darkened it a little, and I just went as my own evil twin.
There you go. Yeah,
that's pretty great.
And then another time, I think I only did this once, but I just want to bring this one back. Is the guy who forgot to wear his pants?
Yeah.
Okay. But I would
have walk around in your underwear.
Well, I would have like long johns because it's usually cooler weather. But I'm wearing like a suit and tie.
Oh, okay.
And I forgot the pants.
So your business upstairs, party downstairs.
Yeah, and it was like, oops. Easy costume, comfortable. I like to be comfortable in my costume.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
This thing Saturday was like, well, I'm already in a show. I didn't like get to the theater and change. I came in the costume. I left in the costume. I performed in the costume. Somebody mentioned the idea of fake blood in the show. I was like, no.
There's definitely an art to the effort of trying to be effortless.
That's true.
I remember one time, this was like in high school, I think. But I was in a community theater play. So it was like 1985. And and in the play, playing a couple of different characters, but the character I was for the second half of the play, they had like serious old age makeup on me. I was playing this old guy. And so for the cast party that was also a Halloween party, I just like put on a sweater and went as an extra from Cocoon. Just didn't take off my makeup and
Oh my god!
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
yeah,
Well,
that,
Captain and I are on the same
I'm
page.
glad my
when it comes to
17-year-old
Halloween
wit still
costumes.
holds up. Yeah. That was a joke I came up with when I was 17. I'm glad it still
That's
works.
great. I love that. I did go one year as a streaker.
Oh,
It was a little more
how did you
elaborate
accomplish that?
and not quite as comfortable. Well, I didn't wear anything except a trench coat, and technically, I did have my tidy whities on, but I kept them covered. So I didn't actually
Yeah.
flash. Oh no, I didn't mean a streaker, a flasher, not a
Okay.
streaker. The streaker
Yeah.
runs across the room naked. I'm sorry, flasher has the jacket, and I rode the
Okay.
subway and everything to Brooklyn, and then I got lost. I'm walking around. I had to do one of those pedestrian walkways. You go over the BQE. I mean,
Oh god!
it was crazy, and I'm wearing nothing.
It could have been interesting if rather than having the tidy whities, if you had
No
had
one was
like
messing with me though.
if you had had like a Caucasian colored like briefs, and then just like figure out somehow a way to affix a dildo on the end of that.
Then it really could have been the.
Well, it could have been, but technically you're not actually naked.
That's true. That is true. You have crossed that bridge.
I didn't have a good time that night, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have fond memories of that costume.
All right, and Beer Wonder, we haven't heard about your Halloween memories yet.
Yeah.
Well, so I similar to what you're saying, Captain. Halloween is not my Halloween day because I have spent so much of my life dressing up for money, which sounds worse than it should be, but that's what we do.
Sounds exactly what
We're
it
all
is.
actors.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I was responsible for some Halloween misadventures at my Clark Kent job.
You used to wear a body suit with your organs showing on it.
I did. It was, and honestly, and I never went with that for Halloween, given that I still had it actually, and it overlapped when I was running that show. I had overlapped Halloween. I really should have gone out in it.
Yeah.
But no, I was doing some Halloween stuff for my day job, and so I was sort of like Halloweened out. So, but the crew of friends that I have been doing trivia with for many, many moons, it was Tuesday for Halloween this year, and we started doing trivia on Tuesday. So we went to Halloween trivia at one of our favorites, the Whalen, which is right next door to As Is, which is a terrific beer bar.
Oh yeah.
And the Whalen has a lovely selection of beers. Usually we dominate this trivia, but I gotta be real, this crew does not know our horror films.
Oh wow.
Like horror franchises, horror films, everything was horror related, and we just kept dropping in the rankings. We did wind up
blind spot. Okay.
Yeah, we did wind up coming in fourth. So I felt okay about that. But usually we're first or second. You get like money off your bill and that kind of thing. So that was what my Halloween day proper was. But I had spent the last 2 weekends like doing Halloween-y things in my Clark Kent job, and so I was a little Halloweened out. But unfortunately, like the spookiness of that has started to infiltrate its way into the beer world, because we do have two sort of sad or scary changes, I guess, that have happened in the Gotham beer scene.
Excellent segue.
Yeah. Thank you. I try every once in a while. And
we have some zombies and zombies.
There we go. I like zombies.
Some zombie beer bars.
And one of them actually
breweries.
And one of them is close to my Clark Kent job, which of course is Coney Island Brewing Company, which is shutting down their tap room on the 9th of November.
Wow.
So yeah, which is wild to me, because that's like that's been like a foundational New York City brewery, right?
I thought they were doing good business there.
Yeah, well, I assumed that they were, but now that Sam Adams has sort of invested in them, I'm sure that they're making other business choices. But it's not the only zombie that's on their way, because one of them is closer to you, Captain.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a little bit more of a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, they didn't
really big deal,
and they didn't really give much notification. I saw it on their Instagram like 4 days before they were closing, and so it meant a lot to me. So I really wanted to get out there before they closed. So Sunday was their last day, and despite my strong emotional attachment to it, it was raining.
I know. Can we just
So,
name?
yeah,
We should
yeah.
name it because I don't think we've actually
Alice.
named the
It's Big
brewery.
Alice. That's right. Big Alice,
And
which is named for the smokestacks you can see from the brewery, and the LIC is named after Long Island City. But now the only places you can go to celebrate this name, named for a specific place, is the Finger Lakes or Brooklyn.
which is a little strange.
Yeah, I'll
It's
still
like
drink their
the
beer.
LA
but yeah.
Lakers.
Oh, are they not
That's
in LA?
true.
Where
No,
are they?
the Lakers are from Minnesota. Is that right?
Yeah, Minneapolis Lakers.
Yeah, Minneapolis. Yeah, Minneapolis Lakers. And
Or
then
the
they moved to
Utah
LA.
Jazz.
Wait a minute, but are you saying that the LA Lakers play in Minnesota?
No,
No.
They were named for the
Lakes in
Oh,
Minnesota.
I see. Oh, I see. I had no idea.
There ain't no lakes in LA except Lake Elsinore apparently, but otherwise.
Yes. Well, that's a little south. Little south of there. But
And
yeah,
same
like
with the Jazz. The Jazz were the New Orleans Jazz,
Yeah.
and then they became the Utah Jazz. I don't know if you know this. Salt Lake City is not known for their jazz.
What?
No, I mean, I was suspicious of that, but yeah.
But it's the same thing. Now we got the Big Alice is named for Long Island City. They're in Brooklyn and the Finger Lakes. So.
And Coney Island is now just, from what I understand, they're just going to be distributing their beers.
Their beers, yeah.
Yeah. So probably Massachusetts or anywhere else you're doing the Sam Adams thing. Sam Adams probably has breweries all over the place. In fact, I discovered one the other day I hadn't even heard of. It was I'm trying to remember I don't remember the exact location. So I'm giving all of you a nice all the beer vendors out there a little bit of a detective job here.
Fun.
So
well, they bought the old Rolling Rock Brewery and they brew a lot out of there.
Mm-hmm.
In Latrobe.
Interesting. I did not know that. Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Correct.
Okay. Now see where I was seeing there. I don't know if this was Pennsylvania or New Jersey. I think it was still Pennsylvania. So maybe that's where I was driving past. So I inherited a car recently.
Mm-hmm.
And about a week and a half ago, I drove it from Dayton to New York with 2 stops because I was driving by myself and I could do that. And
we haven't heard about your road trip.
Yeah, it was, and hopefully, I was going to say a moment ago, like I actually would kind of enjoy driving up to the Finger Lakes to check out Big Alice's spot there.
Absolutely.
Presuming this 1999 car passes inspection on Monday. It's funny. I've spent this money to get it up to allegedly get it up to inspection, and I paid the money to transfer it to New York, and it'll be horribly anticlimactic if I take it on Monday and they say, yeah, I didn't pass, but we'll see. But yeah, but it was some point near the end of the trip, so it was still daylight, barely. And I'm driving up, I don't know, 78 or something, and all of a sudden I see on the right side of the road like this big Sam Adams facility. And I could see the what they're brewing there. Like, I wonder what that is. So maybe that's the Latrobe one you're talking about, Huck. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll check it out on the
Well, with these breweries sort of disappearing a little, I'm gonna be honest. Like, Coney Island Brewing has been a really important place to me, especially in the last almost 5 years. And I feel Big Alice has been just a foundational brewery for the beer vendors in general.
It really has,
yeah. I wanted to give us a moment to like talk about that because like there have been some cool memories that have happened in these spaces.
Sure. I remember, I feel like there was one point where we've definitely been on at least 1 or 2 of our crawls that we've had.
Yes.
And I also remember one early on, the day that we all got our Beer Ventures t-shirts at John Brown's.
Yes.
We tried to go to Big Alice. At least most of us did. And they were too crowded.
I know.
Well, that was the main problem with the tap room.
It was so small. Yeah.
But I heard they're going to go back to becoming a Bible factory again.
Seriously?
No,
I don't. Okay, no. Is that what it was?
That's what it was. Yes,
it was. I heard that story. Well, yeah.
Well, we certainly. Well, I mean, here's the thing: the Bible. There's drinking in the Bible, so honestly, we were just carrying on the tradition.
Yeah, hopefully they don't carry on the tradition of like slavery as well.
Well, yeah, agreed. I mean, plenty of questions with the Bible, but I'm saying if anyone wants to object to a Bible factory turning into a brewery, like they should consider reading their own book.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of nice wisdom there in the Bible if you're willing to cherry pick it and just say, okay, I like these. If you, that's how I've always looked at various religions. I see it as a buffet. like, I'll take a little bit from this, a little bit from this, but I'm not going to actually hang out with
My
you
bad.
guys.
That was something we learned in our training to
That's
do.
true. Yeah, the tours.
Beer tours. If I get back to Monkish for a
Oh,
second,
yeah.
I didn't mention 9.4%.
Oh,
Because it's a
wow.
triple.
Very nice.
So I'm winning the ABV game for a change.
Today you definitely are, yeah.
Because I usually drink the light lagers, but not light, but regular lagers. But it's a nice beer. It's really smooth drinking, especially for such a high ABV. And backstory: we went to Anaheim, California.
Oh,
that's where Disneyland is, right?
It sure is, friend. It sure is. I won't get into why we had to go to Disneyland and all that.
They have a hockey team too.
There's a hockey team.
And what are they called?
But the night we got the Mighty Ducks.
The
night we got there, before we went to the 2 days at Disney. But I was like, hey, there's this little area where there's like breweries and restaurants and stuff. It's called the packing district.
Oh,
like fruit packing, essentially.
Sure. Yeah.
There was these old warehouses that they transformed into a food and drink hall. And one of the things they had there was a Monkish tap room.
Wow.
Monkish is out of Torrance, California, which is basically Los Angeles. But in this particular one, I talked to the guys. They said they're brewing lagers. Because I said, there's a lot of lagers on the board. And they're like, yeah, that's what we do here. We brew, and so the hazies and the Belgians are still done mainly in Torrance, and this offshoot, they're not just a tap room; they're actually brewing there. And so they were selling some lagers in 6-packs, but I was like, I just made this choice instead to get the triples, and I'm glad I did. It was good.
Yeah.
But nice little spot, the packing district. We went to another brewery called Unsung.
Oh my, okay.
Unsung, and it was similar to a Beer Vengers vibe in that.
Oh, nice.
They were doing unsung heroes, as it were.
I love it.
And so all their cans and their beer names were sort of superhero themed. Unsung Brewing out of Anaheim. I don't know. I think I only had one beer while I was there. It wasn't too exciting, but. Unsung Brewing, yeah, it was a good time. We went to Unsung and to Monkish, so a couple of little spots we checked out there, and yeah, it was. They're just celebrating their 7th anniversary. Unsung there in Anaheim, so
there you go. That's very impressive.
What beer did I have there? You know what? I know I do now. I had an IPA because they weren't providing me with my lager that I wanted, but. That happens a lot out here.
Yeah.
There's no lager available. But anyway, then we spent 2 days at Disneyland.
Oh, well, and did you drink at Disneyland? Can you drink at Disneyland?
Well, the first day we did the Disneyland thing, and I don't know if you know this about Cider Girl, but she is huge about Disney. She loves it. So I did the whole day with her. The problem was the walking. Otherwise I was like, okay, but I was like, this is a lot of walking. And by the time we reached 5-6 o'clock, I was like, I'm done. Cause I got, calf issues. So we had dinner and then she was like, I'm going back in.
Wow. Okay. That's dedication.
Apparently she, when you can check your phone and see she walked like about 15 miles.
Wow.
In a day. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I remember you occasionally having issues with too much walking. I have a recollection of about a year ago.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, coming from New York, I was always I used to call myself the walking dude because I would just walk.
You would walk everywhere, yeah.
Did you steal that from Stephen King?
I did.
Yeah,
as one should.
That's what they call Randall Flagg in the stand.
Yeah, I consider myself a Randall Flagg type.
Yeah, that's
just pure evil. Anyway, but the second day I said, you know what we can do? I could get through the day if we make it a beer crawl. Because there's a place called California Adventure, which is a second park. If you know, there's Disneyland and California Adventure has like more rides. I mean, there's a lot more rides, and but there are places where you can get a cup of beer and walk around with it.
Oh, nice.
So I did do that. I had a Deutsches IPA and a couple of other pretty nice beers, and ended up enjoying the second day. And Cider Girl again went out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, you know we did actually. There's downtown Disney, so we went to. First, we did the day at the parks, and then I said, "Let's go to downtown Disney." They have a Ballast Point tap room there.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
And
That's cool.
Now you've got my attention.
We enjoyed a nice flight of Ballast Point beers. Good stuff. Good stuff. We went and met a nice young couple who had just gotten married. You know, they were honeymooning.
Cinderella's Castle.
We did.
Did they get married at Cinderella's Castle? I know they do that sometimes.
Well, they were honeymooning at Disney.
Oh, okay, so they were already married before they got there. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I think they got married in their hometown, which was like the Bay Area. But then, I mean, people love that. I mean, there's a.
Yeah, I know.
Is it a cult? It's a cult, but
it's a cult. It's a cult.
It's not like a dangerous cult, but
yeah. I mean, I have more sympathy for me since Ron DeSantis started going after them. Not the California one, but But the fact that he's actually dumb enough and ideological enough to go after a place that hasn't. I mean, they've done some good things. They've done some questionable things, but to go at one of the largest employers in the state.
I don't know why you would do that.
Pretty dumb.
Because this is where woke goes to die.
Cool.
And he
Good
says
job.
that in a positive way. Yeah,
we got some scary. We're in some scary times here.
We are.
Spooky
Fascism
season
is
has
on the
continued.
rise.
Let me pass the conversation, the talking stick to someone else because I have other things to say, but I want to make sure.
Well, I just want to a brief pause here. I did finish that All Hallows treat, and I have a second pour here.
Oh wow, this is an efficient second pour we're doing tonight. I like that.
And this is one that I was stunned because this is a brewery that is not. I was not aware that they were starting to distribute in New York City. When we had the Trapel Man on, he had some of their stuff because they distribute in the Philadelphia area, but they never distributed here. I actually
can't wait.
I had some of this when I was in Ohio. It's from Great Lakes.
Oh,
and I was in my local grocery store the other day and said, "Why is there Great Lakes beer here?
Really?
Why is there only one
just
here?"
one.
I mean,
I just read about this in the Brew York's newsletter.
Oh, so he mentioned it. So I guess we'll be seeing more of it. But this was the only one they had in the supermarket, and it was there put there especially for me because it is their Edmund Fitzgerald Porter.
No way! Oh, that is honestly a perfect beer for you.
Well, yeah. I had to remind myself, or actually I had to have Belgian Babe remind me, because when I presented her with one of these when she was hanging out here not long ago, and I said, "Yeah, I meant to have this, and I don't think we ever had it." And then she realized, "No, that place where we went and we had pizza, we had it oh yeah, that's right," because all their tap beer was garbage. But I saw that they had this one in the cooler, so I said, "But yeah, so
you have had it."
I've had it before. In fact, this is the last of the 6-pack I got a week ago because it's.
Oh wow! Okay.
So
good on you. Good on you. I mean, I was gonna say I'm impressed that you made it last that long.
By the lake that they call Gitchagumi.
I don't know that song.
That is a gorgeous pour right there.
Yeah,
that poured beautifully.
Well, you're gonna use this song on the Instagram for sure.
Something Gitchagumi.
No, it's the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't realize that was one of the lyrics.
Only the finest, yeah.
No, absolutely. I will if they have it. If it is in the Instagram library, that is absolutely what I'll be.
R.I.P. Gordon Lightfoot. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
right.
So we'll have to have an update on this as you get to know it. But I wanted to throw out one of my favorite Coney Island memories, and it actually has to do with Cider Girl. So as we were coming out of the pandemic, as things were happening at the day job, when Cider Girl held one of her birthdays, we wound up at Coney Island and then off to a Mexican restaurant or maybe Mexican. I can't remember specifically what it was, but we went to a restaurant in Manhattan afterwards. And it kind of was like a hangout spot. And it's one of the many memories of coming back into the world after we were all locked inside that I kind of think back to fondly. And they have, they doubled their space. They opened up this beautiful outdoor space. They became a lovely event space and did all sorts of cool things. But I just wanted to sort of pin that one as a fun Beer Vengers misadventure that Cider Girl kind of led in that space. And we'll see it. We'll see what it turns into, because I certainly probably am not leaving the Coney Island area anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, you're an aquarium guy, so
yeah.
Oh, I gave away too much.
The fish keys, yes. So,
for those of you that don't know, there's an aquarium in Coney Island, the New York Aquarium, which is
really.
And for those of you who don't know that, Coney Island is in Brooklyn. Yeah,
it is.
Island, that's something else people don't know. They think
don't know
its own thing. You're right. Coney Island is part of Brooklyn.
It's in lower Brooklyn.
In fact, you could take now just go with me on this. You could take a train from the captain's undisclosed location to Coney Island
without getting off the train.
Yeah, that's true. It is possible. It could be done. It would be it is mildly unpleasant, but you could do it.
You know what's crazy about that? You could watch a whole movie while you do that.
Yeah, like a movie and a half at times. Yeah,
you could. Or if you're drunk enough, you can go all the way home and all the way to Coney Island before you wake up.
Oh,
that did happen to me one time.
If you could sleep, that's good. Yeah, that's like.
Well, I wasn't received well when I finally made it home, because I was not living alone at the time. I was in a play, and it had been a long run and a really long rehearsal process. And I guess that night we were all kind of like, man, it's finally over. And we overdid it a little bit. And I got on the N train. I got on the N train to come back to Astoria, and I woke up in Coney Island.
Well, honestly,
thank you. It was either Mustang Harry's or Mustang Sally's. I don't remember which one, but
oh my God, you were trying to go to Astoria and you woke up at Coney Island.
Yeah, I started going the right direction, but I fell asleep and I went all the way back home and stayed. I can't remember which stop I woke up at, but I feel like I did make it all the way to Coney Island.
For those of you that aren't New Yorkers, that's a long way.
Although I do feel like that is maybe the MTA's fault, because I'm pretty sure at the end of the line they're supposed to wake everybody up.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be like, get out, because you're supposed to empty the train and then they put it in the other direction. But maybe they were turning it around fast and someone wasn't doing their job. But like, honestly, a part of me is like, MTA, do better.
That is the MTA's fault. Yeah.
Well, that might be their current policy. I don't think it was back in. This was, I don't know. Here's a real deep dive for you, Huck. What year was alien sympathizer Henry Platt is missing?
Oh my God.
Okay, I could say confidently,
like 99, 2000, 2002. Okay, so this was 20 years ago. Because I remember I went to see your show that night. I came home. I finally made it home in the doghouse, as it were, and then I went to see your show that night.
Whose show?
Alien sympathizer Henry Platt is missing.
You were in that show.
I was not in that show. One of the roles was written for me, and unfortunately, I did another show that I enjoyed less than I probably would have enjoyed doing that show.
Oh my God, you weren't in that show.
That's right.
I think I'm having a Mandela effect.
Oh my gosh.
Which is a lead into my next beer.
Mandela effect. Well done.
Should I?
That was a beautiful transition.
Should I actually delete that one from when we do it, just on the off chance that the guy who you cast in that is listening to this?
Who's the guy? No,
I don't remember.
Listening.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was Randy Solar.
No, he was in it still. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I know the guy you're talking. Oh, you were supposed to play the villain.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I don't even.
But I did King Lear instead.
Well, you're going to
it's better than Shakespeare. Anyway, this is Henhouse Brewing.
Oh,
adding to our. Is that upside down?
It is upside down.
Yeah, it's upside down. It's fine. That means you're doing it correctly. There we go.
Right.
That's
I had a triple. There we go.
Yeah.
This is very exciting to our audio listeners.
Yes, they
exactly. You're supposed to roll these, right? So, because this is a hazy IPA.
Oh,
Henhouse Brewing is known for their hazies.
Okay,
they're out of Santa.
Try it again.
Santa Rosa.
We know her,
which is the capital of beer out here, the home of Russian River and Moonlight, and also Henhouse. And Henhouse, they don't mess around. They're good brewery. Good brewery. This is a hazy IPA called the Mandela Effect. I was saying Mandela Effect as well earlier because I thought that we never had Monkish on the show. And we did have Monkish on the show.
We're learning things tonight.
So let's take a look at this beauty. I got the nice glass for it, so we can. Whoops! Oh, snap! Spilling. Oh,
I'll
I'll tell
snap
you
you.
about this. Look at this. The cap only opens half-ish.
Oh,
That happens sometimes.
that
Yeah.
is
Noticed
that
that
is
earlier.
that's
Always frustrating.
yeah, that's
Computer's a little wet, but it's okay. Well, let's get a picture.
Very
Oh,
nice.
God, this triple's done me in.
It's
It
done it
happens
right.
sometimes.
It's done you right. I'm proud of it.
You're the king of the ABVs tonight, Huck.
That's
This
true.
one's high. This one's high as well.
Because I just did a 7.6 and a 6.
Anyway,
Small potatoes for me.
keep talking.
Loser.
How is our? How is that?
The porter?
Great Lakes treating you?
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's easy drinking. It's it's a classic porter. It's not especially complicated, but it's really tasty. It's nice and got that sort of roastiness to it. It's just it does exactly what you want it to do.
All right, that's a nice color. Nice haze. Ooh,
That
beautiful
looks
nose.
beautiful. Yeah.
All right, I am attempting to open the Excel spreadsheet with the
With all the goods on it.
with the monkish stuff. Yeah, let's see where because I
Pure
feel like
wonder, I got to tell
we've
you,
referenced that.
That's pretty good.
I know that looks like beautiful. That looks like a total beauty.
Bro, you would like this
Pretty
pretty
Hen
good.
And weirdly enough, I don't get hen house too much here in Fresno. I get a lot of moonlight. I get a lot of Russian River. We got Russian River out the wazoo over here.
Okay, interesting.
But hen house doesn't get down there too much. So when I go to the Bay Area, I find some hen house. You know where I got this? I'm going to tell you the store I got this in.
Tell us.
It's called Safeway.
I've heard of them.
Have you heard of it?
I have. They are. I hear they're a big deal. People kind of know them.
It's a grocery store. Okay, but I'll give you the hops here. IPA made with Citra and Centennial.
Oh, we like both of those.
Very West Coast.
Super Westy, yeah.
That Citra gives it that real tropical vibe, and the Centennial sort of gives it the West Coast vibe.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Amazing.
IPA, let me find the ABV on this. You guys can keep talking.
So I'm going to go back to, because I know people are completionists out there are really anxious to know when we had Monkish on before.
They are, obviously.
It was on episode 21.
Okay.
It was a triple IPA, not a triple, but a triple IPA.
Right.
And the name of that beer was In My Head.
Oh.
We're being very consistent, only triples.
Yeah. I know. That's
Are you wearing 2 pairs of glasses now, Huck?
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Okay.
I gotta get this ABV. Oh, it's pretty low actually. 6.8.
All right.
Okay. It's pretty good.
That's respectable. It's respectable.
I'm glad I got hen house on. I meant to have hen house on. Hen house? I meant to have hen house on. It's a weird thing to say, hen house. We keep saying it. Hen house, hen house.
Hen house.
I meant to have them on a while ago. I had a beer in my fridge ready to go, and it got bypassed by other beers. And I ended up, that beer just got old in the fridge. And when they get old, you know where they go?
Where do they go? Down the drain?
No, no. They go to the
melange
beer event at 10 a.m.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Because they always have nice foam. If you have these hazy IPAs, they always have good foam, good lacing, so you could demonstrate to our customers visually what these good things are. But they don't always taste so good because they're old.
Yeah.
But they don't know that. Wow, look at this beauty.
Yeah, that's very nice.
I'm pretty psyched about this. And this glass is from Tilted Barn out of
New Hampshire,
Rhode Island.
All right. At least I had the right
And
the right England.
Milo's Phoenix. You can see the Phoenix there. That's
that is Phoenix through the flame.
So
yeah,
that's why I tell you that triple. It's kind of
it happens sometimes. That's
but
I'm proud of you.
We're getting near the end, so you guys keep talking.
Well, I mean, we're getting a little bit to the end. We have a couple things we need to talk about. I did want to.
There are some important things we should
because a while back, this is several months ago, at the Beer and Cheese Collective anniversary party this year. It was their ninth anniversary. we talked to Aisha, who used to work there,
Yeah.
but now is I think she's the tap room manager for all the locations of Strong Rope. And we talked to her and said, we want to have you on the show, but and I hope she thinks we weren't just blowing smoke, because we did, but we didn't want to have her on the show until we got to visit Strong Rope, and Beer Wonder and I got pretty busy this summer and kept trying to make plans to go there, and we didn't.
Yep.
And we finally got there a few weeks ago. The Strong Rope Tap Room in Red Hook, and wow, it's such a beautiful location.
Mm-hmm. We had the nicest times sitting out on the little like patio area they have, watching the sunset over the Statue of Liberty.
They got a pretty huge indoor space as well, but
absolutely,
the outdoor space is so lovely, and it was just an unseasonably warm October day, and
yeah, and honestly, and it's a great selection of beers. It was I got a chance to say hi to Jason, who's of course their head brewer there.
Yeah.
But I had you hadn't been, had you? Was this your first time?
No.
To that particular location? No, definitely not. We've been to the other one several times.
Of course, but I'd never been to that one. But I'm such a fan of their stuff, and I was so happy to see that space. It was I think I said to you while I was there, like, I've missed going to breweries, and this is reminding me why I love going to breweries. It's just got that vibe that you want. I was like, oh, on days off, I want to like take stuff there and do things there. Like it's a place that you kind of want to be.
It's kind of an effort to get out to Red Hook, but
so you're gonna have a few beers while you're there, obviously.
Yeah, but
that's where that party was when I did the streaker. I mean, the flasher
at Red Hook.
Oh, really?
Red Hook, yeah.
Okay.
Not at Strong Rope.
Yeah, just predated them. Who knows if it had even been conceived at the point where you were streaking?
Exactly.
Of course, right.
Yeah, we're covering all sorts of history tonight. Yeah,
I know we're digging deep, but that wasn't the only brewery we went to, right? We went to a second one as well.
We did because a little extra time, and so we went to Keg and Lantern. Also,
we were also hungry.
Well, you were.
I was hungry.
I mean, I was probably hungry, but I also was meeting a friend for dinner.
You were going to dinner, yeah, exactly. You had
a late dinner, so I think I would thank you for sharing some of your fries with me.
Oh, of course. Well,
but I was going to like a not share my fries, like going to like a dinner, the steakhouse at like 9:30.
Oh,
like,
gosh.
Okay. Yeah, a friend of mine from high school just happened to be in town. So
I don't know if I've ever gone to any Keg and Lantern.
Well, the one in Red Hook is nice. It was the second time I'd been there. First time was I want to say around maybe 2021. A friend of mine was doing was part of a art exhibition in Red Hook, and so the babe and I, this was early enough. I think we'd probably been vaccinated and all that, but we're also still like, if we can take the NYC ferry there, we will. So we took the NYC ferry there, had brunch at Keg and Lantern, went to the art show, and wound up at the 6 Point there.
The Red Hook really has blown up as a beautiful place to drink.
It really is. Although I will say that the new 6 Point place in City Point.
Yes, in downtown Brooklyn. Yep, in City Point, downtown Brooklyn.
Is have you been there yet?
Yes, I have. I went with Globe Hopper. We had a great time.
A couple times. Pretty great.
Yep.
Still showing off that. Yeah, it's a lovely can, Hug.
Just ignore me. I'm giving you good photo ops.
Exactly.
Wonderful photos.
For the gram.
Through it well enough.
And a reminder, where should people find us on the social medias?
Well, at the Beer Vengers. Anywhere, pretty much, at all of those things. Oh, see, I thought you were segueing into the.
Are you trying to wrap up?
Well, I wasn't sure. I thought maybe when we talk about the gram, I thought that Beer Wonder was segueing into the unboxing video we posted a couple of days ago.
I was. Good job.
Then when you started asking for the contact information, like, is this over? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was wrong. No, because I was trying to get to the gram so you could talk about the gram, and then I could be like, oh, by the way, on the gram, you should check this out. No, stop it. Put it away. But on the gram, which is at the Beer Vengers.
That's what people told you when you were wearing the Flasher costume as well. Put it away.
But on the gram, which is at the Beer Vengers, which if you're not following, like, what are you even doing? There was an exciting moment recently.
There was, yeah. I'd had this. I got a couple boxes, a couple big crates from Tavor recently, and I had not gotten around to. It was like sitting in my living room for like several weeks because I was, going back and forth with the funeral and everything. And then I
Right.
finally, like the other day, I'm like, this is taking up too much space in my living room. I just have to do it. And there was one day where I just got incredibly productive because I had several things. And I had an event happening. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to clear off the table, do it real quick, then put everything back in because I had another work thing to do. But yeah, Beer Wonder, you said you watched it. How long was that video, would you say? It's about
Oh gosh,
25 minutes or so?
Yes. There was a lot there. It was
Well,
very exciting. It's very engaging, but it's like it goes on for a while because there's a lot to see.
Because there are 2 big boxes and 1 little box. It's
Yes.
60 beers total.
Gosh.
It's not a criticism. It's just like you had a lot of content to get through.
Here's the crazy thing. I was filling this box for such an extended period of time. I accidentally ordered the same beer twice. Fortunately, it's from Martin House in Fort Worth, and everything they do is wonderful. So yeah, ordinarily I never order more than 2 beers from two copies of it. Well, my general rule of thumb is, you've heard about Stoutalooza. We're planning one very soon.
We are. Spoiler.
A month
Everyone's
from today.
invited.
Everyone who we invite is invited. Yes,
Exactly.
But yeah. But anyway, the thing was that my general rule of thumb is that if it's a certain price, I will order 2. If it's over a certain price, I'll order 1. If it's over that price, it's all a case by case basis.
These are good
Example
rules.
of that is like they're like there were beers that I ordered that were $6.50 each, and so I ordered 2 of those. There are beers in the 10 to 20 range, and I didn't order every single one of those, but I ordered a lot of single ones of those. But like, say, River North is one of my favorite breweries I've ordered from Tavor, and they're out of Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
And so I paid $24 for one of theirs just because it's just like, okay, that's a special thing. Got to do it. But there was one from Martin House. They showed up on the rotation about a month apart, which is long enough for me to forget that I already ordered it. And so I can have as many as 3 of those here before the party and still have one for the celebrants. In fact, I had one of them last night. It's called Darkness Falls.
Oh, and a pretty can. That also is continuing our Halloween trend on this one. It is a spooky episode.
It is, and also they're so great with their can art too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of my the bonus towards me ordering doubles of some things. It means I can sample all of the doubles and share them with, like, if I have one guest here, and I can just have those over the course of the time. So I decided, well, I should say I have 4 of these. I'll have one of these Darkness Falls, which is a coconut milk stout aged in rum barrels.
Okay, like you do.
Pretty remarkable. So 12-ounce can is plenty for that. And I said, but I wasn't done with that. I was like, after I had that, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll have a Schwartz beer, because I had a couple of Schwartz beers. So I had this Incendiary Brewing beer. This is a nice little 5%er.
Okay. Casual beer.
But I still wasn't done. So I had this tiny high ABV beer from Hop and Frog. And because it's a frog, I don't know how much is showing up here with the green screen, but
no, you can see. I can see the frog. He seems very jaunty.
He is. They have a whole series of oatmeal Russian Imperial Stouts, and because oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout is in that order, they're all named Oris something. I think they were kind of based on Boris the Spider, which is a song by the Who.
Sure.
But there's Taurus, Doris, Chorus. So Taurus. This one is, and this one's called Taurus the Tyrant. So Taurus is triple oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout. They got another one called Doris, which is double oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout. They got another one called Chorus, which is like a quad oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout. It's
my God.
It's enough to take a road trip to Cleveland. Really, I think that's where they are.
Well,
let's
add that to the list.
We don't get their stuff here. They get it in Dayton. But I was very happy. In fact, when I was in Dayton, now we're back to your whole pumpkin thing. We had a wonderful pumpkin thing from there when I was in Dayton. So I'm looking forward to having some Beer Vengers over approximately 1 month from now. And many of the people who listen to this will hear us talk about it after you've joined us. And those of you who didn't, will have to enjoy it vicariously through us talking about it shortly thereafter.
Very true.
Right on.
Well, I mean, the question becomes, do we have additional Beer Vengers business this evening? Because I know Huck has had some feelings already.
Well, I stumbled upon my own sort of Stoutapalooza the other
Oh,
just
okay.
Wednesday. I don't know. We're all actors, and I've
Right.
done a lot of comedy. For some reason, I've started doing a lot of stand-up comedy here in Fresno.
Like one does.
There's a good scene. I've become part of it, and I feel like I'm better at it than I used to be back in our 10 Sev days, if you recall the early aughts when I used to do stand-up.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like actually doing comedy. And at first I was doing it to be like, well, I'm going to go out and have a fun night, drink beers with this excuse of I'm going to do the comedy and then party. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, wait a second. I think it might be a stand-up comic. So I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
all right,
okay.
all right,
Okay. And it's
all right.
starting to go really well. So
Cool.
the other night, Wednesday, like I said, it didn't go out on Halloween, but it went out on the
November
day
1st.
after.
Yeah.
Right, like you do.
And the Tower District is the place here in Fresno where it's the party's at. It's a cool area,
As it should be.
like sort of like an East Village kind of vibe.
Mhm.
And I hosted this comedy show, Twatties. Of course, shout out to Twatties. Just a fun name to say. And
What was their original name? Were they?
that's the
they didn't have a few that they rejected, like cunties or pussies.
I was actually saying that the other night.
Or
Cunties
veggies.
didn't quite.
Come on out to veggies.
Veggies. No, they Twatties just hits
All
that
right.
sweet spot right there. Twatties.
Koozies.
But they asked me to host, which is nice. Which is like I didn't advocate for myself; they just asked, which is like, if you know the Huck, that's what he wants is to be
It
wanted.
is.
At Twatties.
At Twatties. So Twatties, I hosted the show, and Cider Girl actually did a comedy set. Cider Girl is like, I don't know, secretly, but she's actually a really good stand-up comic.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because she has not no interest, but little interest in pursuing it. Anyway, fast forward to after the show. Next door to the theater where we did it is a place called Spokeasy, which I've spoken about earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
But Spokeasy, to me, now I realize Spokeasy is the craft beer place in Fresno.
Okay.
There's other places. There's Goldstein's. There's the Industry Tap Room. There's other places that do craft beer. There's breweries here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as far as craft beer bar, Spokeasy is the brewers themselves, local brewers, have a Monday night thing at Spoke. So Spokeasy is like the place. So we're there. We go in the backyard. They have a little backyard. I got all the comedians there. Not necessarily beer people. A couple of people. I mean, people are drinking beer because we're in a beer bar. And I look around at the other tables, and I'm seeing black bottles.
Ooh.
On all the tables.
Ooh. Okay.
Stout bottles.
Yeah. All right.
This is a bottle share that's happening out here.
We love that. We love that.
And I'm like, and you know what's funny is when he walked into the bar, there was a woman at the bar. Her name was Alex. Shout out to Alex.
Hi, Alex.
And we just started talking, and this other guy shows up, Jacob, and there's Jacob the bartender, which I can remember the names. And Jacob and Alex and I, as the other comedians are coming in, my wife included, they're getting a table, and I'm like, I'll be there in a minute. We're naming breweries.
Yes.
Which is what beer people do. What about Monkish? Grim, other half, we're just like throwing out brewery names. It's such a funny thing. Like, that's what we do. We just say brewery names.
That's how you know. It's just like a mating call.
Connect. Because
that's about 80% of what we do on here, isn't it? Hey,
we just say brewery name.
Graham, Big Alice,
So
Interborough.
My man Jacob was a distributor for Altamont and other breweries. He was there. I'm like, oh well, this is a guy to know. And honestly, like they're all waiting for me outside. I'm like, I gotta go outside. I gotta go. And as soon as I go out there, there's a freaking not one bottle share, 2 bottle shares. Are happening. They're not related. I thought you guys were all together. No, there's 2 different bottle shares happening. So I'm like, can I have some? And of course I did. And then they all kind of left. And this guy says to me, oh, well, I got this bottle. It's only about half drank. It's a barley wine.
A barley wine.
Oh, we do like
barley wine stout blend.
Oh.
from Highland Park Brewery.
Go
We know them.
on.
Highland Park is out of Los Angeles, California. If you haven't heard of them, barrel-aged blend of barley wine and stout, 14.9% alcohol by volume. So I'm like, okay, thank you. And he just gave me the half of the bottle, and all the beer people left, well, except a couple. And then I went over to them, and my thing lately is to try to be a little moderate.
Okay.
Yes.
Even looking for the word is hard for me. I'm trying to be a little moderate. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to just put the glass down. And as I'm walking away, the guy goes, "You really should drink it." I said, "I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right."
Good choice.
I finished
You
it
know,
off.
there are moments.
But delicious stuff. And I also had
Yeah.
some good, that Highland Park was good. And then they offered me they had like 3 bottles lined up there from Modern Times.
Ah, yeah.
Which I know is like, whatever.
They're
But,
great. Wait. What is there controversy?
Yeah,
or
what's your beef
something,
with
or-
Modern Times?
No, I don't have a beef. It's like a part of the whole sexist culture that was
Right.
called out
Well,
last
yes.
year.
Well, I didn't
Right.
hear that they were part of that. I only
Yeah,
heard
they
they were in trouble a while ago because
Well, the CEO resigned.
because the place but also like
Because of it.
financially in trouble because I remember I think the place that I went to they had a great place I went to in San Diego a couple of years ago, and I know
Right.
that they have since closed. I think.
Yeah, they shot their shot and like shot it a little high, I
Yeah.
guess. Like they tried to do too much too soon. But yeah, delicious stuff. And then there was another beer that was probably the best one, which I don't remember the name of the brewery. The person said who it was.
Yeah.
I'm pulling a captain on this one, but the this last barley wine was great, and it was just. And I said, "How can I get in on these bottle shares?" He says, "It's Spoke. Just show up."
Oh.
I'm like, okay, I guess I got to bring a bottle next time. So next
Yeah.
time I'll go to the grocery store and grab
Get
some
one of those
Bottle Logic
overpriced Bottle Logic things.
Yeah. And I'll bring it over to Smoke next time.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm done. Thank you guys for indulging me on that story.
No, it's important.
It's a great story. It's like
It's an outstanding story. It is a true beer
vintage.
vintage.
Hear about more about the beer vintage.
Oh no, we've already covered that.
I don't know. I think our loyal listeners will not say like, I'll listen to 65 minutes. I don't know about 75.
I know.
Which
So
works.
why don't you remind the nice people about where they can find us?
Yeah. So just use that little @ symbol. It's I think it's right above the 2 on your if you're using like a traditional keyboard. Just @ if you're familiar with what that is. I don't know how you kids today if you even call it that.
Everybody calls it that. Yeah,
They call it @ Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
and then you put
sure.
the word the, and then you don't have a space, and then you put Beer Vengers. So @ the Beer Vengers. And that'll find everything you need. But if you want to like email us, you can do that at thebeervengers@gmail.com. But @ the Beer Vengers, that'll take you to Facebook and Instagram and the platform formerly known as Twitter. Even though
we don't like them. We don't like them.
We don't like them. We still exist there, but barely.
I know we still don't. But honestly, I just want it to be clear: we're there, but begrudgingly.
And I think
we're on Threads.
Threads, and that's not begrudgingly at all. I just don't find it interesting, so I've barely been there. But we have a thing there. I don't know if anyone has noticed that because the last time I looked, very few were.
And we're on the TikToks as well.
Sure, and we haven't actually. Embarrassingly, we put we should up our game on the TikToks. I think.
Absolutely agree.
All right. But I think that's all we have for this week.
I think we've done a good job of checking in on the world's problems.
I think we have. It's funny how these themeless episodes can just go all over the place. And thank you for coming along with us on this ride, our beloved Beer Vengers out there in the Beer Vengerverse.
Very true.
Absolutely.
Is there more I can say, or is that just the best end to note it on?
I think Huck should really just play us out.
Yeah, play us out, Huck.
But I have so much more to say.
No,
listen, everybody. Listen to this is where we need our Patreon thing with what Huck has to say. But
exactly.
But
Huck's rants.
You can't see it other. He's clutching his uke. He wants to play us out. Huck, play us out. Thanks for listening, everyone.
If you want to hear more about it, go to our Patreon.
Yes, which we haven't started yet. But when we do it, that'll be what
25-minute rants.
Sure.
Just pay a little bit extra for that.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Love
see you next time.
With a beer, 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 beer Vengers, beer, 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 beer Vengers, beer, 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 beer Vengers. We're the Beer Vengers.